YouTube, welcome. Today we're gonna be playing another one of the newly supported decks in Master Duel, Ogdoadic, and I think I created the ultimate Ogdoadic list, I'm not gonna lie. As of the Ogdoadic cards, I play playset of the Nunu and Nauya. These are really important. Zoha, sometimes it's good to just dump something from the hand to the graveyard, that is why we play it. Also, one copy of Curse, extremely necessary one of. One copy Aran. You could play the other level 8 monster as well. I just chose to play this one because it's really good in my opinion, and I just really don't care about the effects of them. I just need the extra level 8 body Lord of the Times. One copy of the Ogdoadic, the boss monster of the deck, and one copy of the Nephilobyst, the new support, which is really good for two reasons. Number one, you get to special summon it itself, and also you get to special summon any other monster from the graveyard. This is crazy good. You can special summon even a Link 3 monster. It's fine. It's just amazingly good. Also, as a Dispels and Traps, I play a playset of the Water Lily. You could get away with 2 copies of this card, but I think that you need it. It's just a really good mill, plus Monster Reborn a lot of the times. Also, the Serpent Strike. This is a really important card. You do want to play one copy of it. It just gives you more grind game and it's really useful. And I also play the Daybreak. Daybreak is extremely good because you can tribute a reptile monster, and for every 2 levels, special summon token. So the majority of times in the combos, as you're gonna see, I special summon 4 tokens that allow me to go for Link 4 place. This is crazy good. Out of the tech cards, I play, of course, the Snake Rain. If you don't play Snake Rain playset of it, please don't play this deck. There's no point. You gotta play playset of this card. It's super important. I also play Small Evil's Hour Leos Engine, and the way this works is really simple. You normal summon, pitch the mess to the graveyard from the deck, miss, special summon the Croco, pop this guy, and then you get to search out any reptile monster, and the best targets are gonna be Nunu or Nauya. Either of those are really good, whatever you don't have access to. As of the extenders, I also play the Reptilian Layman. This is really good because you get to search it out, for example, with a Hidna, reduce something to 0 attack, special summon, reduce one more monster to 0 attack, synchro summon into Hydra, pop 2 things, go +2, and this is so crazy. Like, going second, this card does come up. It's not gonna come up all the time, but whenever it comes up, it's really good. That's why I play it. Also, the Black Mamba, literally a free special summon any mill effect, which is good. Also, the Night Sword Serpent, you just mill it, you special summon it level 4 body for free. And I also play the Foolish Burial to just dump something in the graveyard. And for the final engine, I do play a small alien engine with the Pollutant Virus, and also pair it with the Alien Shock Trooper and the most annoying card in this deck, Cosmic Slicer 0. This card is really strong. You're gonna see why in the gameplay later on. As of the Hand Traps, Maxi and Ash. As of the Tapos, only Called by the Grave. Also, we do have one final extender, the Alasia. This is basically a level 8 extender. You can search it out with Pharaoh M, for example. Think of the Pharaoh M, search out every reptilian. You search out whatever you want. If you need another level 8, you search out this. And sometimes it is really good to go for Hope Harbinger because it's really important to have it on the field, because this will be your best way to protect your Floodgate effect from the Cosmic Slicer. Because typically you do end on a board with a Palooza, which means you don't need to have an additional monster negation. It would rather be a spell card negation and really protect yourself really well. Also, as of the rest of the extra deck, we've got the Zeus and the Typhon. These are just self-explanatory, really good cards. The Link Spider, it is really good to link off the token, and this way you can go into a Palooza early in the combos. Also, we play the IPSP combo because it's super good, 2 copies of the Echidna, and we play also the Access Code because going first, typically you set up a Palooza. Going second, with the same place, you just summon Access Code and you get 2 pops because you can at least banish the Slicer, also banish the Link Spider. So all of this is really strong, and I would highly suggest you to try out this deck because it's really fun. So now let's get into the gameplay so I can show you what the deck is all about. Alright, now that is a crazy good hand. Let's just go with the Nunu as my first play. Dump into the graveyard the Nephilobyst just to have it set up there available. Now we're gonna go also Nauya, dump into the graveyard. The most important part of the combos is gonna be the Curse. And now we are gonna be not gonna activate the effect of the Nephilobyst. By the way, do not activate the effect of this card before you go into your non-reptile monsters because you do get locked from it, okay? Just keep that in mind. Now we're gonna go with the Curse, and these are just gonna be standard plays. We're gonna pitch the Nunu, we're gonna be summoning the Curse. This will let me activate the effect, specimen to the field, also the Nauya. And typically, if you don't have any other cards, I would highly suggest to search out the Daybreak, but since we have like both of them already, I'm just gonna have to go for the continuous spell just for the extra value. You know, it's really good. Now from here, I'm gonna go for the craziest part of the combos. I'm gonna be triggering the Curse, get 4 tokens, 4 level 2 tokens that we can use to link summon or do whatever else we want to, and this will be the key part of the combo. Now we're gonna be using 3 of the tokens, and this is really important to go for the Cosmic Slicer, which is our way to actually floodgate our opponent. So now we're gonna activate the effect, search out of course the virus, which is the floodgate part of it, and now we are gonna be going for the Link Spider, link of the token, which will let us go for the Palooza as our next play, and this immediately protects us from everything else that he might have. Clearly he doesn't have anything else, but you know, we'll see. Someone turned off the sun, by the way. So the first thing I'm gonna do I'm gonna go with the Daybreak. And this card is really good for a really good reason. You can actually return cards from a banished zone. Not only that, you can dump into the graveyard the Night Sword Serpent, which will give us the ability to special summon it. Again, we're not gonna go for the Nephilibus because we're waiting on that effect. Now, by using 2 of our monsters, we can summon the IP, and this is what I'm gonna do exactly. And this will be all the setup that we need that is gonna be non-engine one, okay? From there, everything else is gonna be just engine. Let's go also with the Serpent Strike here, okay? And then I'm gonna activate the effect, pitch the Daybreak. Actually, no, we cannot pitch the Daybreak. I completely messed up. We do pitch the IP, whatever, Geo, bring back the Cosmic Slicer. So this is not what you should do. Now that I think about it, it's actually not that bad of a play, believe it or not. Whatever, Geo, I just messed up a little bit. It's fine. So I'm gonna just dump to the graveyard, I guess, the Ogdoadic. This will let us activate now the effect of the Nephilibus. Now, the cool thing is that we actually needed to get rid of the IP because I didn't actually calculate things correctly and you didn't have the right amount of bodies to set up the floodgate correctly. So it's fine. Just consider it like we lost 1 extra body to use, which would have been actually really important because I would have kept also the Ogdoadic. But hey, sometimes mistakes happen, okay, guys? Like sometimes I make mistakes as well. We're just gonna link off, summon this, pretend like we also have the Ogdoadic available, but we don't have it, okay? We're just gonna set the trap card, and that is going to be everything that we need to do. Ideal board would be with IP or with the Ogdoadic on the field as well, but since we just messed up, we don't have it. Now, the cool thing is we can activate immediately in the draw phase the trap card. Okay, so immediately we are gonna be using the virus, tribute the other alien, which will now allow me to activate the effect of this, and this card allows you to put a counter every time your opponent summons a monster. And the cool thing about it is that this card, when your opponent actually summons a monster, it becomes changed to defense position. Also, it negates its effects if they have a counter, which pretty much just means every monster. That is how we set up the floodgate effect, and that is how we pretty much just win almost every game. They do have super quantum cards. I guess it's like okay, so I'm gonna go with the Serpent Strike. This is like for sure. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you go for the Nephilibus, you are gonna get locked into only reptile monsters until the end of your next turn, okay? So you're gonna get negated and you're not gonna be able to go for anything except for reptiles during your following turn. So I wouldn't suggest you activate that effect. Be careful what you're doing. I'm gonna dump Aran just because, and now I can activate it again, and I'm really not sure. I'm actually not gonna do it, okay? I'm too scared that he might just, you know, lock me and not win the game from there. So I'm gonna wait. That's Alistar. Also gets negated. I mean, anything gets negated unless you go for like link monsters. You cannot do anything else. Okay, that's Invocation. I mean, sure, but it's still like doesn't matter. By the way, if they stop your Cosmic Slicer, it is a really good idea to actually go for the Ogdoadic afterwards. By the way, he used it for the Invocation, but yeah, it's really good to actually remove everything if they stop your Floodgate effect. So that's why we play the, you know, the Ogdoadic monster. Also, we do play IP and, you know, DSP combo in Diapalooza to protect and whatnot. He just passed turn. He has nothing. That's gonna be game probably. And that's what I'm talking about. That is the deck, guys. It is really, really strong. The Floodgate effect, all of the other stuff. Definitely would consider playing it if I were you. Alright, that is actually a pretty nice hand. Let's start off with the Nunu here, and we're gonna be sending to the graveyard a card. Now, because we already have the Nephilibus in the hand, we're actually not gonna go for that, unfortunately. We're gonna go for Zoha, but it's literally the same thing. You're gonna see why. Now, let's go with the Nayuya as well, and that will let us also dump to the graveyard the most important one, actually, the Curse. We are gonna activate the effect of the Zoha. We're gonna be pitching the Nephilibus, return it to the hand, and this is the reason why we play this card, sometimes to just fix our hand and just send to the graveyard whatever we need to be there actually. So this is really good. Now we're gonna be using also the Curse after we summon the Nunu, tribute the Nunu, and that will let us just space summon the Curse, which will also give us the additional special summon. And that is how we go into our other play. So we're gonna go for Nayuya. Now, unfortunately, we're gonna have to search out the Daybreak and not the Water Lily. But that is why we play the Daybreak. Daybreak is the most important card for the combos here. So now we're also gonna activate the Daybreak immediately. And this will give us 4 tokens that we can actually use for whatever we want. It's absolutely insanely good for us. Alright, from here, I'm gonna show you how to continue. He does have Nibiru, but I don't think he will fight it off in me. Actually, he did. Wow, sure, that's a little nasty. I do have some extending, to be honest. Okay, we need to set up some interruptions as well. We're gonna definitely link up the token. We always go for the link spider. From here, I'm gonna go with the Daybreak for our next play. Now let's dump to the graveyard this Serpent, which will let me not only special summon her, but also it's gonna let me go for the Nephilibus, and I do get locked into only reptiles, but at this point we just don't have access to everything else since we just, you know, got stopped midway through the combo. So And if I go for the King of the Pharaoh Imps, we could actually get some value out of it now that I think about it. Let's see, we're gonna actually do this. The goal is to just get the most amount of bodies possible, okay? But that's just the goal here. So we're gonna go now, activate the effect of the Echidna, which will let me reduce the attack of Nibiru to 0. Also change the effect of the Zoha, which will let me go +1. So I'm gonna go for the Aron, because that will be our extra interruption when we get the chance to use it on the following turn eventually. He's gonna pitch Sky Striker Ray. Oh my god, I love Ray. We're gonna search out a card now. So this has to be an additional extender. Black Mamba is the best extender we can go for. Best summon Black Mamba now. And we can actually make good use of the effect of it because we can target the Nibiru and then we can mill to the graveyard an additional reptile. So we're just gonna go for the Ogdo Abyss. We're gonna set up the Cosmic Slicer play, so we're gonna link off these two. On top of that, we gotta go for whatever else there is left. If he ends up defeating everything else, I'm just gonna go Ogdo Abyss and I'm actually just gonna destroy everything that he has on the field that is not summoned from the graveyard. So this is really good. So my first thing that I gotta do, I just gotta go for this play. Versus Sky Striker, I don't think it's gonna matter that much, but we'll see. Let's go Aron now. Give me a good hand rip, come on. Just give me something. Okay, that's gonna get negated. He negates the Aron, not the Floodgate. Alright, that's Sky Striker Ray. Now the effects aren't activatable, but when he goes for the Link Monster, they are gonna be, so that's like really nasty. I could just send to the graveyard both of the monsters because once he links off, there's no reason to keep the Slicer anyways, because once he links off, it's like irrelevant. So I'm gonna go for the Nayuya just to have it there available. And he just cooled the game. Okay, we managed to control even without the Floodgate. This is the deck, guys. This looks amazing. Okay, I love it. This is amazing deck.